Hi everyone, my name is Balu. So today we'll be going through a couple of Power BI tips. First, I'll show you the outcome. So what we are trying to achieve here is in a slicer, typically we don't have an apply button. So we are trying to get an apply button in the slicer so that we can make all the changes whenever we are ready. So in order to get the apply button, what we need to do is we'll navigate to the file tab here and click on the options and settings, click on the options. And under this menu, under the current file, we have an option of query reduction. The same option, with the same option, what we can do is we can also enable a button called apply for the slicers. Selecting here, add an apply button. And in the same way, we can also add an apply button in the filters pane by selecting here. I'll show you. Click on the OK, then it asks for the restart. Generally, when we click on that particular slicer field, the visualization gets filtered. So right now, even though we click on that particular selection, until we click the apply button, the changes were not reflected. This is in the slicer. Coming to the filter pane, I don't want the year of 2018. I'll be eliminating this. Until I click apply, that will not get eliminated. You get the point, right? So this is a first step. And second tip is coming to the.
Balu, a quick question here.
Yes,
So, this apply whatever you enabled in the settings, right? Will that
yeah.
be at a workbook level or will that be at a Power BI tool itself?
I have not explored that particular context of that, Akil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'll apply for the whole workbook, right? Because he did it in file options.
Yeah, I
Guess so.
assume
I
so.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll proceed with the next one. And typically for the slicer itself, we'll take the slicer. So we don't have a search bar in the slicer. So how can we enable this? Clicking on the slicer itself, we'll have the ellipse button here. Clicking on that, we have an option of search here. Right now it's enabled. We can also disable. It's a quick, simple tip, but it's very useful. Right now, we can see screencast is here. If we have a long list of items to be selected, then we have to scroll down. Instead of that, we can simply type and we can select and then we can do an apply. This is a kind of simple trick.
Balu, for this, I actually have a question. So this is a text field and therefore we can apply. Can we do the same for numeric field? Actually, once I was applying it for numeric and I was not able to, like in the ellipsis itself, the search was not available. Can we
Yeah,
check for any numeric field?
right now it doesn't work for the numerics and date values as well.
Okay, got
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And the third one, do you have any of the other questions in the search?
No, none from my side.
Okay, yeah, we'll proceed with the next one. So usually when we create a KPI, right? So the text is centered. So we can't really align the text to left. So what we can do is we can simply copy the KPI and change it to a multi-card visual. So we'll be having the text aligned to the left. So by doing some of the formatting, we can make a KPI sort of thing. I'll show you quickly. Under the cards, we'll turn off the accent bar because we have a bar here, if you can see here. So we don't really need that in the KPI. I'll turn off that. And then I'll increase the callout values to around 20 and make it bold. Yeah. Now it looks like a KPI, which is aligned to the left. And a similar kind of trick we can also do using a text box. So in the home tab, we have a text box option here. And I'll select the value. So the revenue actuals field, I've selected it. I've made it the currency and I'll resize a bit. Yeah. So in the similar way, we can do both of this for the KPI. And moving on to the next one, can we add really emojis in the Power BI? Yeah, we can add. So there are three different methods through which we can directly add the emojis in Power BI. One is we can create a table. If you can come to the data view here, we have a option of creating a new table. I've created a table. It's just nothing but a series starting from 128,000 and up until 128,060 with an increment of 1. So we have all the values from 128,000 to 128,060. And after that, I've used a field called emoji, which is a new column that I've created. I've used the formula of unichar. Why have used the unichar is because we are referencing the numeric value that is already in the value column to make the Unicode characters, which is in that particular place. Let's assume 128,000, right? So if I give only 128,000, then we'll have the option of this particular Unicode character itself. So I want all the values to be specific to that particular numeric value. That is the reason I've attached the value. I've referenced the value column there. I'll show a quick demo. So I've taken the KPI card. So emoji direct is basically it's one of the emoji that we have there, and this is the first method through which we can generate the emojis. The second method is directly copying the emoji value and pasting it in a double quotes. So right now we have a double quotes here, and the third method is pressing the Windows button and the pget, which is dot. So I'll search for the bird. We got the bird, and we'll insert it in a double quotes. This is the third method. And the final one that we are going to cover today is personalized visuals. Right now, this doesn't work in the Power BI desktop, but we can enable it and publish in the Power BI service. Let me show you that. So we got our report published into Power BI service. So what the specialty of the personalized visuals is, we'll have a button here through which we can personalize the visuals. Right now, we are seeing the visuals that I have created and posted it into the Power BI service, but the end user can also make changes to this and reset it to the default value. Right now, we are having the actuals here. Let me add a new field, revenue forecast. So for this 2018, for the Q1, 76 million euros is the actual revenue that was actual revenue that we got, and 82 million euros is the forecasted revenue that we'll be getting. So in order to make this particular change, what we need to do is we have to enable the personalized visuals in the Power BI itself. Let me just show you how to do that. Under the options and settings, under the options, under the current file, we have report settings. In the report settings, we have an option of personalized visuals. We have to turn this on. I've already did that and click on the OK. By doing that, if you can see here on the right hand side, we have many tables here like dim channel, dim date, dim location, dim promotion, dim store, forecast, and sales. But here we were able to see only some of them. How am I able to limit this to only these particular two tables? Is by using a tabular editor, which is supported by the Power BI. It's an external tool. So we have to initially download the tabular editor from the online, and after that, for that particular report which you want to hide these tables for the end user to make their analysis on that particular report, is going to the external tools, and clicking on the tabular editor. Once you have downloaded the tabular editor, you'll get an option of this. So this is the interface of the tabular editor. What you have to do is initially, right now I have already created a perspective. When you have opened this, you will not have any perspectives here. That means none of the data will be visible to the end user. So you have to right click this and create a new perspective. I've already done that. In this perspective, I've limited only the forecast and sales here. If you can right click on the forecast, the tables that you require, and show in perspectives, it is already checked, right? If I uncheck this and click on the save here, then only the fact sales will be visible to the end user to make changes to this particular report or make his analysis on that particular report in the Power BI service. And after doing this change, what we need to do is we have to come to the Power BI report and we have to save this and publish this to the same account. Then we'll be able to see only the sales because I've already hidden the forecast. So these are some of the couple of tips that I've planned for today.